Well, I'm selling all the Hammond keys off that organ, one at a time for $3 a piece. Somebody finally bought one. How's this for organization? They bought a D key, easy to find, $3. This is a vintage Shure stylus. Came off an old garage turntable that was not worth fixing. And it does need a stylus. And it's got these unique flat posts, which were from an earlier design. So I priced it at $80. It took a few weeks, but it did sell. And this also sold today. This is going via the global shipping program to China. And this is another Shure cartridge. I'm not going to take it out of the box. But this was sort of an accumulation of the cartridge and the box. The box I got separately along with some other things. It was empty. And when I found this cartridge along with a bunch of other parts that came with the turntable, I was able to put them together, and this cartridge with the box sold for $300. This is a trucker wallet I found at a garage sale for $4. I've sold these before for $100, or I think I even sold one for a little bit more than that once. And this one's in great shape. It's like it's never been used. So I priced it at $100, but I've had it a long time. And earlier in the week, I took an offer of $50 for it, and he didn't pay. And then I sold a bunch of very expensive stuff, and wish I wouldn't have accepted that $50 offer, but he finally paid today. This is the Midland Weather Alert radio, brand new in the box. I saw these just before Christmas in a shopping cart at the grocery store for $5 each. They're closing them out, and I thought, well, these would make excellent Christmas gifts. Maybe somebody will pay me $25 for one. Well, I've had them since before Christmas, and I finally got an offer of $18.50 for one of them. So that's what I took for this one. Hopefully the others will sell in time for my $25 asking price. These are 4 black and white Panasonic television monitors, old style CRTs. They came out of the video production console that I tore apart. Finally got to doing that after owning that console for over a year. And been selling some components out of it. Sold all 4 of these together for $200. So now I get the pleasure of packing 4 TVs. This brass hurricane type lamp was just part of a box lot at the auction. And I actually had it on my table for a while, but then decided to list it. It's got these scenes of carriages for all the different seasons. And I priced it at $90. And it took a couple months. Again, this was just a auction lot extra, sold for $90. Another raw speaker. This is a woofer off the Pioneer set that I got off the curb for free. I sold every one but these 2 woofers, and now this one sold for $40. This is another little record stand, a tabletop model. Cool, it's got the indexing along the bottom. I always pick these up whenever I see them because they're usually just a few dollars, and they sell real well. This one sold for $30. This is the bass pedal assembly for the Hammond M3 organ I dismantled and been selling the parts off of. It only went for $40. You'd think these would go for more, but they're just not, I guess they don't break too often, or maybe people just want the individual pedals that break, but I didn't want to take it apart, so I sold it as a unit. And if you remember, I bought that organ for $40. The first switch I sold off it, I got $200 for, and subsequent pieces have sold off between $30, $40, and the keys themselves are selling for about $4 a piece. Again, this one went for $40. Some of these cassette tapes that I bought used, I've been selling just as singles. They've got some very good jazz music recorded off of British radio back in the 60s and 70s. And this one sold for $10. I found this little flip number desk calendar at a, I think it was a church sale. I was a little on the fence because it doesn't appear to be real old, but it does have that 70s look to it. So I threw it in the bag, and I listed it that way, that it had a 70s look. And it did sell for, there we go. It did sell for $20. This is a nice Sansui receiver amplifier. I picked this up with a bunch of other audio equipment from a guy who had bought a storage locker. Now, this was well over 2 years ago. And when I plugged it in, it didn't work, or it just lit up. All the lights came on, but no sound. So I brought it to this local repair guy, really old guy. And he had it for over a year, and I never heard back from him. So I finally went and picked it up, thinking this guy might die and I won't get it back. So I brought it home, and I noticed that these jumpers right here, preamp to amplifier jumpers, were missing. So I found a couple of spares, put them in, and it worked just fine. And I put it up for sale, and it sold for, it actually sold for $275 on Trugether. I had it marked at $300. So I guess with Trugether's discount for their lower fees, I'll still come out about the same as I would with eBay. But I had it with FedEx shipping, and you can't do that through PayPal. And Trugether doesn't have any shipping methods. So I guess I'm going to have to use my FedEx account to get this thing shipped off at a reasonable cost. Again, it sold for about $275 on Trugether. This is a monster of an amp. It's a Kenwood 11 GX. It's just huge. I found this on Craigslist, and I had to pay $100 for it. Now, I did a little quick research, and prices were up there, but when I got it home, it did work just fine, except for most of the lights were not working. And I took it apart, and they're the kind of lights that are not easy to replace. So I put it back together and took a video, explained all the lights being out and everything, and all the defects that it has. And it sold for $400. But the best thing is since this thing weighs almost 50 pounds, I included a $30 handling fee, and I'm going to have FedEx pack it up for me. So again, I paid $100 for this Kenwood 11. The thing is just huge. There's the Sansui amp that I'm getting ready to ship. And this is that big Kenwood. It sold for $400. This is the speaker grill off one of the Pioneer speakers that I've disassembled. The ones I'm using as a little cat house for my kitty. This is just the grill, and this sold for $20. This is an unused head cleaner for a cassette deck. This came with some other cassette equipment that I bought, audio equipment. Always be on the lookout for this stuff if you're ever buying amplifiers or whatnot. Say, hey, do you got any extras? And oftentimes they do. This one's still sealed in the package, and it sold for $15. These are 4 suspension springs from a Hammond M3 organ that I dismantled. And I'm finding that I'm selling a lot more parts off of desirable equipment, and I think that's the key. If it's something that's desirable, like a Hammond organ with a tube amp, people are going to be looking for the parts. And that goes for stereos and just about anything you can think of. I'm going to continue looking for that kind of item. If it's just too far gone to be sold whole, or it's huge like an organ, just sell the parts off it. These 4 springs went for $20. This is a dual turntable. These are made in Germany. This is from the mid-70s. It's a pretty nice one. It's one of the 11 I bought for $500. And this one just required a little cleanup. I had to buy a new stylus for the cartridge. It's direct drive, so no belt to worry about. And this sold for $400. This is an unworn military hat. We call this an 8-point cap in the woodland camouflage. This is from 1992. But I've had this for quite a while. And finally it sold for $20. I think I probably paid $2 or $3 for it at a garage sale because I thought it would really be something sought after. Somebody needing to replace their lost military cap. But after about a year, it finally sold.